Muguerza Hospital Sur, estamos convencidos que nos debemos a nuestra comunidad y por ello abrimos nuestras puertas a mejorar la calidad de vida y llevar bienestar a los que más lo necesitan, otorgando brigadas médicas, clínicas de asistencia social y centros de adopción. Trabajamos, imaginamos y seguimos avanzando para ayudarte a mantener una buena salud. Nuestro excelente hospital de calidad mundial, acompañado de una atención cálida, guiados por un sentido humano y un cuidado integral en el que velamos por el bienestar físico, psicológico y espiritual de nuestros pacientes. En Christus Muguerza Hospital Sur, nos ocupamos para que tu experiencia sea positiva.
Todos los días estamos al día, con las noticias e información clave que necesitas conocer, de tu ciudad y de su gente, junto a los rostros y voces que ya conoces. N+ Monterrey, decide informado.
A long list of fantastic supporting sponsors here for the events here in Monterrey over the 2 weeks of competition, and of course the spring meetings as well here, and coming to a climax for 2023 with the final Grand Prix of the season. Over 6 million in Mexican currency. That's close to $500,000 US. It's a big Grand Prix in anybody's book coming up very shortly. 25 in the starting round, 12 to go forward to round 2 in reverse order, carrying their scores. And we're looking forward to that. It's a few minutes away. It gets underway in just around 12 minutes.
Fundación Banorte aportará otro para la reconstrucción de viviendas. Banorte, el Banco Fuerte de México. Entre mexicanos salimos adelante. Posponemos los pagos de los créditos de nuestros clientes en Guerrero por 6 meses. Banorte, el Banco Fuerte de México.
raíces mexicanas. El comité organizador del CSI 5 estrellas y 2 estrellas del Club Hípico Monterrey desea expresar su más sincero agradecimiento al diseñador y al personal de pista, señor Gregorio Godó, que diseñará los Juegos Olímpicos de París 2024. Asimismo a la señora Erika Fernández por la tan artística decoración de la pista. El jurado, conformado por la presidenta Manuela Ramírez de México, el juez extranjero Jorge Aros de Chile, Andrea Herschel de Guatemala y un servidor Pedro Ruiz. Asimismo, para los stewards, el equipo encabezado por Maribel Rangel de México. El agradecimiento a todos por este concurso. Asimismo, de Costa Rica tenemos como juez del salto de agua a la señora Ana Cristina Vargas. La distinguida concurrencia a ponerse de pie.
The national anthem plays out and we begin the readiness for what is going to be the GNP Grand Prix this afternoon here in Monterrey. Sun is back out and the clouds are making an attempt to shift up the mountains, but putting the spotlight on 25 nations, and it is going to be a top 12 going forward to round 2 as well, carrying their scores across 2 rounds for this Grand Prix in that format. And a man who's familiar with big championship formats is the 2002 world champion Dermot Lennon and Millview Cicero, and the Irishman who's been a part of the lineup for the Mexican group of 5-star shows in the last few weeks as well. Been lovely to see him as part of the scene, and now will be tried to go with this 9-year-old Irish bred by Cicero Z Van Pemel for Dermot, out of the line of Royal Dutch for the Irishman to be the trailblazer around the course, set by Gregory Bodo. Wall coming up at fence 2 early on at 1.55 m. Roll back here to the double at 3A and B, and down there on 11.30 m, 2 strides down to the water. Back to the vertical triple combination also added into the course. Time allowed of 76 seconds around this course. The Cactus set of fences making an appearance. Total of 13 fences on the track, the last at 153, a 170 in spread. And there's the last of this combination, making only looks like their second five-star appearance in terms of Grand Prix, and it's a very good start, 75.11. So first out of the starting blocks, giving us a 0 score, but not unsurprising, giving a top-class pilot in the saddle as well. Dermot Lennon and the ride of Millview Cicero nicely cruising around to give us the first of the clears. Like I say, 12 regardless will go forward to round 2. Very good start. Patricio Pascal and Chakalu PS for the next for Mexico. Another 9-year-old. We've been saying that a lot over the last week, but as I say, it's also that time of year where they're starting to just come to the end of their 9-year-old years, and they've really had a good season of experience behind them. By Diablo Blanco. Now for the Mexican Championship rider. World Championships last year. Just comes down there on the 7 down to 5, which it should come out at just over 30 metres down there away from the water. It just starts to lengthen out, just flicks the pole after it. Patrizio moving this horse up into this 5-star Grand Prix as well through this triple combination. 153 at the first part, 153.2 on the last. Triple bar, 1 metre 90. Comes on a 4-stride distance to a 160 vertical after that. Chakalu jumping around the 5-star Grand Prix last week as well. That was 4 jumping 1 time. This time it's going to be 8, but it's been a good experience for the horse over 2 weeks of 5-star Grand Prix. Conditions this week a little more favourable in terms of the weather. It's sun out. Last week it was in somewhat damper conditions, but the ground here has been absolutely fantastic and stood whatever's been thrown at it. Rides well. And so Patricio Pascal on a total of 8 in all, 73.27. Federico Fernandez and Romeo, the horse he rode at the recent Pan Am Championships, and that is not Federico. So we're going to go on to our next down the list, which I think is going to be Olivet Lineo of Greece. L'Artiste d'Oxandre. 12-year-old by Toulon for the now twice European Championship and World Championship rider. Again, this has been, she's now got 2-3 really good horses around her for the Grand Prix classes. Finished 6th here just a week ago, if you were following there, just with the time fault on that occasion. It's a nice bit of space down to that Oxer. Roll back to that 160 vertical. 7 comes up, 160 spread. It's just looking pretty good, and just a fraction there. Maltese, 12 years of age now. Absolute prime. Just releases forward into that, so it's 2 down this time around. Plenty of room down to the last at 13. leaves them on a score of 8, 72-45. Like I say, it is 12 to return to round 2. Picks up really well through that early double at 3. Nicely over the water. And there's Federico Fernandez. And as I was saying, his Pan Am ride from Santiago. What about two and a half weeks ago? A little more than that now. Romeo, 12-year-old by Lando. He's French bred along the lines of Cheers Cassini as well. The 7-time World Championship rider. Mexico, down in Santiago. Performing well amongst the teams, getting their spot there for Paris. Finishing in 4th place overall. Whoops, sit tight. Federico giving Romeo week off last week, and then back into action this. Should come up as probably 8 strides for 1 to 2. Steps over. 8 down to the water. Time allowed of 76. They've coped with that well so far. A little way off that first vertical, but that's really nice. Weights. Lovely, quiet, controlled through the triple combination. Yeah, just off a big championship as well. Should cope with this well. Ah. Saw that straight on, maybe just a fraction move to the right. Couldn't quite see from there, but just going to leave them on the 4. May well put them into round 2. Like I say, we're going to be taking almost half through. Just opened up over the water, close it back up again. Federico Fernandez on the 4 at 74.72. So it looks like time is achievable, okay. Carlos Sancarero and H5 Porto Maestro WH. Now for the Mexican Nations Cup rider. 23 years of age. And similarly jumped this horse into the Grand Prix here last week as well. A 9-year-old actually finished in 12th place on a score of 4. He was in Spain a few weeks ago, getting some good grounding there, and then stepped the horse up nicely over the water. Wait. Whoa. Just cruises down there easily. Nice curve up into the triple. Again, this has given them a good chance to build on last week as well. Again, just got to take care not to run on to the finish. Just start to get a little bit keener down to the last couple of fences. I mean, got the momentum going. Just on the 4, 74.62. Good round 2 with H5 Portos Maestro.
Carlos Juan Guerrero y H5 Portos, Maestro WH7 terminaron el recorrido con 4 puntos en 74 segundos 62.
Just picks up nicely over the water. It's no trouble at all. Another one that just runs on down, just clipping the front bar of that Oxa in the final stages. Emily Conte and Trixie Z finishing in the money in this morning's winning round class as well. Very good jumping already this week, as we've seen, coming into our final day. Very good jump off class back on Friday with the men with Lake Camille finishing top there. Just a few of the names to note: Jordan Coyle, Nick Pizarro were top 3 there. Emily building on what's been a very solid young rider career. Saw her to a team gold a couple of years ago. Just drops the rail. Trixie also having jumped in last 5-star Grand Prix. Again, a 9-year-old. It was 4 jumping, 3 time last time around as well. Just adds another down the triple combination. Though it's been a big year of getting some really valuable experience. Get them off the wall. Sets up a good shot there. Just saying, whoa, just starts to come up quite quickly, the skinny. And so we'll finish on a total of 8, 74.68. I say we'll see how this plays out for those 12 going through. Got 1 clear with Dermot Lennon and Milview Cicero. Carlos Saint Carrera on the 4, Federico Fernandez on 4. Waits, pops over it. And defending champion, if you like, from last week, Richard Fogel and Sapanu Balube. 9 years of age. This is feeling like a broken record this week, but there's a lot of them here, and this has been an exceptional one. Won the Grand Prix qualifier last week. Won also the Grand Prix itself, winner of the Rolex Grand Prix in Wellington, and is a horse really so far has belied its years as well. Richard's try and go back to back. It was a big bump of prize money last week. Can it be the same this? Clearing 4 earlier on this week in the jump up build up class. Just a horse that's just going somewhere all the time. That's the scope to just pop down there easily. Just gathering back up the stride. And again, just momentum taking over in the end as they roll on down that triple combination. So it'll be a different name on the trophy this week. If the sport was that easy, there'd only be a couple of people at the top of it. It's not. It's a tricky one. Still not been a bad week, just dropped the odd rail. And still pick up some good prize money here this week. See that just almost looks like they're in there. Same to the water, but just quick, controlled, what you need for the very top. And again, they're just moving over that skinny and keeps going without any jerk or change. Another one who's so very good. A smooth production of a horse. One of the very, very good pilots in the world is the world number 11, Shane Sweetnam, and Combella. 9-year-old this time, that's Argentinian bred by Cornet de Lee. Shane won his first World Cup a few weeks ago. The National Horse Show. He's already been a 5-star Grand Prix winner with the likes of the American Gold Cup last year as well, and based in the United States, in Florida. Spends part of the year up at Kentucky as well in the summer. Moves it up a gear down to the water now. Take the pace off again in a controlled way. Nicely done by Sweetnam. Again, land. There's no then thinking about the adjusting. It's already happening. Now enough energy to get across the middle part. Okay. 2 verticals just holding there, both 153, 150 in the middle. Making sure at the GNP fence. 1 from home and in contention once again. Ah! Well, that's going to make it tough. I say, could be carrying that through yet. Really good round for Combella moving up again. Shane with what has been the result of hard work, of a really super string of horses around him right now. Finished 7th in the Grand Prix here last week with that horse as well. Bernardo Neveliano Goicolia El Chile by Don Diol for the Chilean rider. You into the lineup at 5-star. Chile, the fabulous hosts of the Pan Am Games. Ooh, get them back. And does. Can keep calm, keep the control. Pan Am rider back in 2019. Just starts to hesitate at that first part. Gets high, but just gets up and leaves the back end on it. He's on a score of 8, 74-46 for Bernardo. And El Chile. Seeing them well early on through the double. Takes off a lot further at the water than they would have done, but recovers.
Coming soon, number 10 from USA, Veronica Tracy with FBW.
Veronica Tracy and FBW Graphic.
A continuación tendremos al binomio número 10, Verónica Tracy de los Estados Unidos, que nos presentará a FBW Graphic.
Now for the American rider. The owner of Tusapanu Balubay, that Richard Vogel was riding to success last week as well. FBW Graphic, 10-year-old, the line of Graph Rhapsody.
En la pista, el número 10, Verónica Tracy, presentándonos a FBW Graphic.
Horse that was ridden too previous to this with Sophie Hinners. Richard Vogel's partner. And including in the 5-star in Stuttgart last year. Again, within their team. And we're stepping into, looks like their first 5-star Grand Prix run. Good start. A little bit of a step away. Then just lengthens down that line, gives a little tap at the Oxer. This is where again they'll need care through this triple combination. Yeah, just start to lengthen out through there again. It's later in the course. Time to dig in, get the job done, finish it well. Just takes the last with them, but as I say, first big move up into that level for the pair. Total of 13, 76.55. Can take some good parts out of that early there at the double. 13 on the scorecard in the end. Lands off that skinny already on the turn. Emanuele Camilli and Odenso de Velde, who looks so good in the class back on Friday. Another of the European Championship riders. Rode this horse actually at the Europeans in Milan. 9-year-old too by one of the world's best stallions in Dumont de Semy. Has looked very impressive. We'll see if they can follow it up. Dermot Lennon, a little bit deceptive with the one clear early on, but like I say, it is top 12 through, carrying their scores. So a little bit different this time. This pair finishing 13th week in the Grand Prix as well. That was just on 4 faults. Drifts a little through there, straightens up the line. Up, sit up, come back. Good. Up. Up. Good, again, controlled. Been able to ask a lot of this horse in its 9-year-old year, and it's certainly been giving every effort to deliver. And this is looking good once again. And it will be a 0 score against their name as well, 71-16. Manuel Camilli going through well. A little bit quicker than that of Dermot Lennon as well. So he is going to be, in terms of pole position, to round 2. Dermot Lennon 75-11. Manuel Camilli actually taking quite a bit of a chunk off at 71-16. Rupert Winkelmann and Duvery for Mini. Another one by Dumont de Simi as well. French-bred 10-year-old. Again, what's been a good Mexican tour for the German rider. Several top 10. Pair that have been competing both in Europe and at Spruce Meadows through 2023 as well, through the summer. Oh, steps over the water, not going to attempt to come and jump from there. Good to see them back on their feet okay. Just get the heart rate back down. Yes, he's just going to give the horse a pat and say, okay. It's not quite working out today, so they will retire. Well, to get the recovery and stay in the plate there. Manuel Senderos, Mexican rider with Cannabisar. Jumping through the 2-star classes last week. Now already on this 14-year-old. Mike Alaska gets the opportunity this week to move into the 5 stars. Several had several podium finishes through Guadalajara. It's another step up for them, competing in the 4 stars earlier on this year in Puebla. But this is going to be one of their biggest tracks to date. Camilli with the prime position at the moment. Just nicely keeps the pace to and away from the water. Just extends down there, doesn't have to shake things up too much. Smooth so far. Good over the triple. And again, back 4 strides. The vertical after that. And this is looking pretty good. Just started to get away from them down to the skinny. And so it's going to be 4.75, 4.0. Still very much in the shake-up at the moment for Manuel Senderos. See them nicely at the water. No trouble there. Just started to have a little battle between them partway down that line. Nick Pizarro, Atlantica du Soleil, another one that finished well earlier on this week as well. Again, back from the Pan Am Games. Nick finishing 3rd in Friday's 155 star class. Atlantica, an 11-year-old, now by Atlantis van der Rooshoeve. So you can see him and the team having that success down in Chile to put them through to Paris. Now the concentration on that as well, and it's definitely part of the roads to get there with the big 5 stars, to have those horses absolutely in their prime. Nicely through the double. Looks so good earlier on this week as well. Whoa! Another one that takes off away from the water. You're going to go from there, Nick? You're not going to go. You are going to go from there, and you're going to get it. Little bit of gymnastics. Now that is a calm head. A lot of jumping ability. And Nick is keeping the dream alive here. It's not going to be a clear, but 4 could still be in for some big prize money this afternoon. And who knows how this will all work out, especially with a 2-round competition. 1 down, foot in the water, or all 4 feet in the water at this point, does not mean you are dead. You are still in with a chance on the 4, 74.51. Nick Pizarro with a terrific recovery. That fence was not the problem. Came down to almost nothing and just had the scope and ability to jump 5 from just a bit more than a standstill. Well done, Nicholas Pizarro. Jordan Coyle and for gold showed also earlier on this week why they're becoming a very good partnership. Finished 2nd in that 150 jump off class back on Friday. Emanuele Camilli just getting ahead of them on that occasion. They're just making an adjustment out on course. And for the Irishman with this 12-year-old by for gold that joined his team this year, for fashion that joined his team this year. Jordan with multiple 5-star Grand Prix wins to his name. Jordan keeping up the pace down there to get across that Oxer. Smaller horse, certainly tries and delivers. Shakes them up again to go across the triple. Looking good, looking very good. 71.06. Jordan Coyle and Emanuele Camilli will resume their battle from earlier on this week. Jordan Coyle, the quicker of the two, and that is by a tenth of a second because it's 71.06. 71.16 from Emanuele Camilli. So second best of that group so far. Back for sure. Three of them on a 0 score now. Jordan Coyle, Emanuele Camilli and Dermot Len with say 12 to go forward. Luis Gerardo Castaneda doesn't necessarily, just going to have a look at the wall. I'm not sure whether that bodes well or not, but having a little look at it. Santa Rosa quality boy, the Argentinian 10-year-old. Well, over it. Jump to the 5 stars in San Miguel, jumps in the water here at Monterrey. Again, it's a step up for them. Not a 2-star competition this year. And yeah. I think he's probably going to have another fence somewhere. Yeah, just going to go back to the first fence, okay. It's always a move up, down, back up again. Get experience. It's a long way off the water this time. I'd say it's not too often they get to see that as well. Let's move on to Zoe Conte and La Una. A good part of the year in Wellington, Florida as well. 2 contestants just competing at these Mexico shows over the last couple of weeks. Solidly last week as well here in Monterrey. In fact, 3 clears last week for this pair. Clears, fours through the last month or so. So been very consistent and very much knocking on the door of some very good rounds and maybe a big result. There goes the bell. That's what she was just hanging for. Well, there, it's definitely gone now. Nice start. Already get the eyes on the turn back. Don't hang on those turns. You watch all the pros. And then those that even exaggerate it, like Kevin Stote, their heads onto the next fence when they're over the one they're already on. Looking good down that line for Zoe. Just a little bit further away from that vertical. Now it's set herself back up to be in the right spot for this triple combination. There we go. Been a big year for her, moving into more of the 5 stars, and acquitted herself well. Just on the 4, and again needs to keep it at that because they're still in with us a shot this afternoon. On the 4 at 73.54. Zoe Contra and the 12-year-old by Chaco Blue.
In the arena number 19 from Denmark,
Ricky Belinda Barker and Tabalu PS. European Championship rider this year for the Danish squad. Everyone just riding down toward the wall. Seems to be being placed early on in the big 5-star classes. Rolled by Talubé Z. Jump round for 4+1 last week. 4 as well in Otomi, San Miguel. Just needs enough momentum down them across the Oxer in the middle. Good through the combination. Looking good. Okay, set up for the last super round for Ricky Belinda Barker and Tabalu PS. Good tour of Europe this season as well, through a number of the Nations Cups. Preparation for those European Championships. Stepping up further and further. Good result here. Part 1 completed with a clear at 74.34. One of our 5 1-0 scores so far. Joins Dermot Lennon, Manuel Camili, Jordan Coyle into the group so far. In fact, 4 to correct that. 4 clears at the moment, but it is 12 to go through. Eduardo de Menezes and H5 Origi Horta. So 8 faults at the moment, still in the top 12. Possibly won't be for too long. And the 9-year-old by Casanova de la Pompe. And of Irenaeus Horta by Vigo de Suey. Nicely done so far, and this has looked a really good pair together. Last week coming through nicely. Finished 4th in the Grand Prix. Just 4 in that jump off. Just says, whoa, wait for that skinny. Oh, it's going to have the last as well. Lot to build on from what's been overall a good 2 weeks for this pair. Looking forward to seeing more of them in the future, but this time around is going to be 8, 72, 83. Outside of those qualifying in the top 12. And again, if they're starting into round 2 on 8, it's going to be somewhat of an uphill battle. Juan Manuel, Luzardo and Big Stan. 9-year-old by Staccato. Out of a mare on the Cassini lines for Juan Manuel. Again, move up for him this week into the 5-star. Representing Uruguay. Two-star winners here last week. Did do the 5-star in Jalapa. Actually, the 3 stars in Guadalajara in September and into the early part of the year. Put a lot of number 1s against their names. So going to be a really interesting pair to see here as they move up. Going again into their first 5-star Grand Prix. Just has to reach for the Oxer, unfortunately. Vertical, rather. It's the Oxer following. Okay, another one that's going to be keen to keep it at worst at 4. To shake it up down that line, it doesn't work out. Last as well, makes a score of 12, 75-10 for Juan Manuel. Communication not coming together for them, and so leaves them on 12. But as I say, first 5-star Grand Prix for them. At the moment, still Oli Mitlaneo just into that top 12 on 8. 4s after that and clears. Carlos Rodolfo Molina, Gordillo, and the 9-year-old Crunch by Cardento out of Bobinka. Next to the Mexican riders. Just leaves us, this is one of 4 left to go. Pairing that were 9th in the Grand Prix in Otomi. Enough space down there to get the control back for the Oxer. was just reaching a little bit for the first vertical, then was really reaching by the time they got to the Oxa. Last few weeks has been a move up for them into the 5-star again on 4. Little touch the last, but it's going to be okay. It means it's 4s through, but that one is going to be plus time as well, so it's going to take them to 7 at 78.27. Just makes it into round 2 so far, but another 3 yet to come.
Clasificando hasta el momento para el segundo recorrido de este Gran Premio GNP al 160. En la pista, número 23, Santiago del Hambre de Brasil, presentando a Zeus.
Santiago Lamre and Zeus. Actually one of 2 he took through into the jump off in the 150 class back on Friday. He's had a very good week so far. Got the number 1 spot back on Thursday as well. Was top of the winning round just a few hours ago. That was with Chattanooga once again. Just trying to push to get over that vertical. So another one on the 4, but at the moment 4 would still be in. 8 is not. Again, just starts to lengthen and lower, coming down on the 4 there. He knows at 12 he's out of the running, raises a hand, says, okay, we're done. Little more to achieve today. Ruben Areave and Menconvio PS. And again, should come in buoyed with a bit of confidence, having just won our 2-star Grand Prix with Valès Gazette. Jumped a couple of classes last week in the 5-star with this horse. Didn't jump the Grand Prix on this 9-year-old. So she has Nations Cup ride back in April in Mexico. San Miguel de Allende. Another one that's no longer fighting for places, I'm afraid. Just not as smooth as they would like today. But again, Another one coming into one of their very early, if not their first 5-star Grand Prix together. So it's just the starting point. Yeah, not going to worry about jumping the last.
Binomio número 24 se retira del Gran Premio. En la pista 25 y último binomio participante en este primer recorrido del Gran Premio GNP a 60. Leobardo Flores de México presentándonos a muy LS La Silla.
So final combination in round 1. Leobardo Adoro Flores Lille. For the Mexican rider with Muy Eles La Silla. Mexican bred, as you would expect. Through here, the stud at La Silla. Stud itself actually based about an hour away. Very much in the La Silla lines. Out of Malanguela La Silla, just by Quick Star. Leobardo on this 16-year-old now. Okay, get the canter back. Ah, no. Now, time to fight for it. Try and keep it at the 4. Still has a chance to be in the game in round 2. No longer they do. So the 12 going through will include a 4, a 7, and 4 on a 0 score. We'll run through it in just a moment. Time to add there as well, so 21 in all, 80.23 for Leobardo and Muy Eles La Silla to complete round 1 of this GNP Grand Prix. But things just coming unstuck at the water and never quite recovered. And so we're ready for round 2. Take you through who to expect. And it'll run like this. Carlos Rodolfo Molina and Crunch throwing a score of 7. They'll carry these scores. 4 falters there down to Richard Vogel, and again with the 4 falters there is still a chance, which is what's really interesting here. They go jumper clear and a fast clear, and they could still have a shot at this. Federico Fernandez, Manuel Senderos, Carlos Sancarero, H5 Putos. So important rounds there because not too many clears. Okay, they will have an advantage. Jumping double clear will put them in a different game, so we're almost separating them up into sections. Dermot Lennon gave us the first clear. Millview Cicero, Ricky Belinda Barker, and Tabalu PS. And that'll give us a little bit of resumption of Friday's battle as well, with Emanuele Camilli and Jordan Coyle as the last 2 to go into round 2 of this GNP Grand Prix here this afternoon. So big prize money, some beautiful scenery, and just a wonderful atmosphere here in Monterrey once again to enjoy the sport. And again, seeing a high-class group of riders making it through to round 2. Pretty well, most of them with some championship credentials. And looking forward to seeing how this will pan out. So that's what it looks like. We're just a few moments away from going into round 2 of today's 5-star GNP Grand Prix in La Silla.
7 para Nicolás Pizarro Suárez y Atlántica du Soleil Z. 8 8 for Zoe Canter with la una de Bélgica, Belgium. Uno, Carlos Rodolfo Molina. 2, Manuel Centeros. 3, Federico Fernández. 4, Carlos Juan Guerrero. 5, James Whitman. 6, Nicolás Pizarro Suárez. 7, Zoe Canter de Bélgica. 8, Richard Vogel de Alemania. 9, Dermot Lennon de Irlanda. 10, Rick Recke Belinda Barker de Dinamarca. 11, Manuel Camilli de Italia. Y 12, Jordan Coy de Irlanda. Son los 12 clasificados para el segundo recorrido de este Gran Premio GNP al metro 60. El orden que hemos indicado es inverso al resultado que ha obtenido cada binomio en el primer recorrido. Por ejemplo, Carlos Rodolfo Molina entra en primer lugar porque terminó el primero con 7 puntos. El segundo es Manuel Centero porque fue el 4 que hizo el mayor tiempo, 75-40, y así sucesivamente hasta llegar a Jordan Coy de Irlanda, que terminó el primer recorrido sin faltas en solo 71 segundos, 6 70.
Aquí.
Recordamos que los obstáculos para el segundo recorrido de este Gran Premio GNP al metro 60 son los siguientes: 1, 2, 3B, 8B, 8C, 14, 10, 11, 15 y 16. Tiempo acordado para el segundo recorrido de este Gran Premio, 56 segundos. Time allowed for the second round of this Grand Prix, 5 stars, 56 seconds. 56 seconds is the time allowed for the second round of this Grand Prix 5 star.
Se le perdió su leche de 2 meses, 2 días.
Well, getting set for round 2 of this 5-star Grand Prix, and it's going to take us to a conclusion with 12 of them returning. Like I say, they'll bring forward their scores. So, Leobardo Toro Flores was the last one out. So we will be going back to the lineup with Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo is the plan. And we'll go all the way through to Jordan Coyle and For Gold as the last combination with the quickest of the clears. So, set to go, and Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo and the 9-year-old bike Cardenso Crunch. Now the jump off course, 1, 2, 3B, 8BC, 14, which is actually the triple bar, is reduced now to an Oxa. 10, 11 and 15 and 16 are 2 new fences going to finish over towards the VIP stands. So, here we go with Carlos. Like I say, you'll see on the screen there as well, he's on a score of 7, so that's what he carries through. That's why I say it's very important for the 4 falters here, because there's a real chance the likes of Manuel Senderos, who goes next, could move right up this order yet, if they can produce a clear in round 2. So it's a different strategy to the normal jump-off class. Crunch still looked good in round 1. Picking up some time though. So 1, 2, 3B. We are missing the first part of the bare fence. They've gone wandering off into the woods. Also taken away the first part, the vertical that was in that triple combination. Fence 14, like I say, was triple bar, now is an Oxa. Straight on to 10. 11 here in the centre, and then they should turn back on themselves across the centre here. Benorte, and then finally last fence here at 16. It gives us a good clue because goes around nicely for a clear this time. 79 wasn't chasing the clock particularly, and there played it sensibly, got a clear, could move up a few places yet for Carlos on the 9-year-old Crunch, so sensible stuff. Time allowed, in fact, 56, so he picked up 1 for time there as well, so we'll get an overall total of 8. So just picking up the 1 time. Manuel Senderos and Cannabis are the 14-year-old by Carlasco. So into the 4 falters now. Whole group of those. That takes us basically from 11th place down to 5th, but they're all starting on 4, so you can put them into that bracket. And then the so as you can see, starting on a good score of 4, moves away quickly from the wall, but gets a little out of sorts on the turn back to the vertical, gets away with it. Just leans on that vertical afterwards, drops another, and you see this is where the previous rider, Carlos, will now move up. Manuel Cederos finishing on a total of 12, so 8 this time around, 4 from the previous Cannabisar, and you can see there time-wise okay at 50.08. It was just a steady round from Carlos Rodolfo Molina that saw him with the one time fault. Not a lot of difference at that point. It would be nice to not have the time fault because then it would put him ahead of the 8 faulters. But he moves up 1 place because Manuel Cederos dropping behind him on the 12 with a 4 and an 8 this time. Federico Fernandez and his Pan Am Championship ride of Romeo. 12-year-old by Lando for this now established combination. As I say, a couple of weeks ago, jumping those big championship courses at the Pan Ams. Should cope with this. This is where the 4 faulters, as I say, could start to be shaken around in the pack. And they've got to remember as well, the clears at the other end, there's only 4 of those. They might not produce score again. Coming nicely through the double. Moving on, not full flat to the boards, but a nice round so far from Federico. And this, if he pulls off this clear, could prove one to get them to really go, and he shook it up there. Now he has sped up. It was careful early on, it was speedy towards the end, 49.01. And with the clear there this time around, Federico Fernandez puts on the pressure there. He gave it a shot. He saw one and raced for it. Loads of championship experience from that rider and how to play the game. Carlos Ancarero, H5 Potos Maestro WHZ. 9-year-old by Picasso. Still Carlos Hanks, Shane Sweetnam, Nicholas Bizarro, Zoe Conta and Richard Vogel to come on the 4. Federico Fernandez playing it well. It's 49.01. May well see some rounds faster than that. Shot down to the wall. Quick move away from it. Again, just a little more on the angle. This has got some good ground speed. Speed costs though. See, that's where you saw with Federico's round. He was moving but taking care in the early part, and then could really fire in this latter part. Carlos Hank though, really good turn away there. Going to see him at a good time, 47.47, that's what I say. I thought we'd see faster than that of Federico Fernandez, but Carlos Ancarero dropping a pole on the way. So adds their score, so total of 8. So this is where we all start to shuffle. Jane Sweetnam now, and Cornbella for the Irishman. 9-year-old by Cornet de Lee. So there's a good part of this that's a game of chess as well as a fast race. And there the advantage comes of going later as well. Shane knows how this works. You've still got a chance. Those 4 falters, I think, could a really fast time, but could just put the clears under pressure, because they know as much as they want to go for a clear, they can't hang around too much, because if they have a fence, they might drop a few places. At the moment, they've got an advantage. That's a good turn away. Landed really neatly there. Federico's time definitely in danger. Elegant, light. A little bit steadier down there, then pushes on again. Looking for a good turn inside the fake tree. And this is going to be a run to the last. It's going to be at 48.66. Yep, he is going to be quicker. Shane Sweetenham and Corbella will keep themselves in the hunt. Good hurdle at the last, and moves ahead of the rest at this point. We'll say we're going in reverse order. Okay, this group are all on 4 faults, but they were also separated by their time, so there's a little hint that they might be a little bit quicker than each other. Nicolas Pizarro, Atlantica du Soleil, what a recovery from him after that water a little earlier, to then go on and jump the Oxer, keep himself in the game here. Now, can he turn it into a magic finish? He fought for this. Finished well on Friday as well, but this is substantially more prize money on the line. A little bit more experienced. An 11-year-old for Nicholas to the 9-year-old of Shane turned away so well from the likes of this wall. Nick, good turn. Maybe even just a fraction slower, but there's a long way to go around here. Keeps it tight around the bushes again. Don't drift far here. .48.66 from Shane Sweetenham. Turn inside here is crucial. Maybe more efficient there. Nick Pizarro takes a look at the last, and he's going to get there quicker at 47.61. And that, out of what happened into round 1 at the water and beyond, was a fantastic turnaround of events for Nick Pizarro and Atlantica du Soleil. Confident of the run at the last. 47.61 moves ahead of Shane Sweetenham. And so they keep slotting back up above. Really good rounds of the clears from Federico Fernandez, Shane Sweetenham and Nicolas Pizarro, doing what they can do to recover here in a 2-round competition. Get the 0 scoring, but just dare it a little bit more as well. Zoe Conter and La Una. Possibly the youngest rider into this jump off. She and Richard Vogel of a similar vintage. Turn. Good balance. Kept going a bit wider there. Nick Pizarro was probably a little bit tighter around the bushes there. Sure, she's a little bit on the angle, so she lands and can take a run at this. Whoa, she said, yeah, she was just trying to then get the inside shot. It's going to be a good time, though, from Zoe. It's been some good efforts over the last couple of weeks. 45.97. Now Nick Pizarro is 47.61, so she was a good bit faster, but key bit unfortunately is a fence stand, so finishes on the 8 there for Zoe Conte, going into 4th place so far. Federico Fernandez moves up a spot, he still stays in 3rd. Shane Sweetman moving up, Nick Pizarro moving up at the number 1 spot. Richard Vogel and Zapata last week as well. You will know how quick this pair are, and this is the one that the likes of Nick Pizarro is thinking about. Based on the pace we've seen, take a shot that this naturally would be a quicker combination. But there's only one result that counts, and that's at the end of this round. Last week's Grand Prix winner, still in the mix. To this, it's the 4 clears. So efficient away. They're closer up to the line of that of Nick Pizarro, but like I say, Zoe was actually quicker. Ah! Oh! Today is not the day. There are going to be a lot of good days, but still going to be in the money. But drops 2 fences this time. Like I say, it's at the end of the round, the score that counts. So it's going to take them up to a total of 12, 48.85 for Richard Vogel this time with Sapanu Balubay. So 4 from the first round, 8 from the second. And it sees Richard drop down. Nick Pizarro still on the top of the pile. Now we're into the clears. So the 4 falters have all fired their salvos. This is with Dermot Lennon, Ricky Belinda Barker, and then down to Emanuele Camilli, and finally Jordan Coyle. First of the 2 Irish, Dermot Lennon and the 9-year-old Millview Cicero. Again, horse moving up into this level. It's a question of what they go for. They go within their own pace for a clear, and then see where it puts them. Or do they just lay it down and try for the number 1 spot? Turned back after the wall. But that one's going to drop. Ended up just too close in the end. So now he's battling in with the 4 falters. Now he's against Nicholas Pizarro. Nicholas Pizarro could move up if Nick is quicker. It's 47.61. Dermot Lennon, Millview Cicero. Just going to drop the last as well, but this horse is one of possibly first 5-star Grand Prix for them. Very early stages still with this 9-year-old. 46.16, so time was good enough there to be ahead of Nicholas Pizarro, but he's going to have 2 down. So unfortunately Dermot Lennon dropping down to 5th place. 3 left to come. The biggest win of her career so far, if she can put the required round together here. And a clear would put her in front, Ricky Belinda Barker and Tabalu PS. This 11-year-old Oldenburg by Talubay Z. still then has Italy and Ireland after her. Clear here, guaranteed third. That's not the way a top athlete thinks. Not if they're confident today, and they are right at the peak and ready. Goes a touch more cautiously there. Going wider here. Going for the clear. Does put pressure on the other two, because do they just fire it out between them? Then she sits and waits and sees what debris is left behind. It's a nice round. If she pulls this off, this is going to put her in front. Nicely done. Sensibly played by Ricky Belinda Barker and WPS. 54.90. Steadier, solid, and a clear which counts. Whatever she does this afternoon, she's picking up some big prize money. So moves Nicholas Pizarro down to second. There's room there, plenty of room there for time. Nick was down to 47.61. Ricky 51.90. See them down to what, 45.97 with Zoe Conter. Manuele Camilli, and what's looked impressive horse this week as well is ride the 9-year-old by De Montesimi, Odense Udeveld. This would be his to check, but I think it would be one of his first 5-star Grand Prix wins if he can pull this off as well. And this has looked an impressive pair. He's going up against Jordan Coyle. He's not thinking about the clear of Ricky. Little Stumble comes back. But that's the danger. Ricky Belinda Barker still in front. Now he's battling for places against the Four Falters. He is going to be quick though. This could well go into second place because it is fast. 44.99, yeah, fastest so far. Manuele Camilli books his place into second place regardless. Just on the one down, would have been nearly 10 seconds quicker than Ricky Belinda Barker, but she's played the sensible game. The door is left open for Jordan Coyle. Doesn't have to go flat to the boards. What he's got to produce is the double clear. Jordan Coyle and for gold. Last to go in this GNP 5-star Grand Prix here this afternoon. Will be the first 5-star Grand Prix success for these two as a partnership. Oh. Nice turn back. All he needs is to keep this a nice moving round And it should be enough, but he's got to leave them up. Still clear. No, it's going to Ricky Belinda Barker. Biggest success of her. Very well played. Well, Jordan Coyle, 50.28 on the 4, goes further down the order, and so he will go into 6th place. Double clear will win it. Ricky Belinda Barker and Tabalu PS. That is a lovely success for her. And so she will be the winner of this GNP Seguros Grand Prix. It goes to Denmark. 2nd place to Italy to Emanuele Camilli and Odense Udeveld, that has looked so good over the last 2 weeks. 3rd to Nicolas Pizarro and Atlantica du Soleil. He's been very, very consistent, really recovered well, finished in 3rd in the end. Shane Sweetnam, as ever, is up there in the top 5. Combella, once again, Federico Fernandez, solid. And for the Mexican, with Romeo, his championship ride will go top 5. Jordan Coyle drops below 4 gold on the 4 faults in the end. Zoe Conte, it's been a good tour for her as she finishes 8th to Dermot Lennon and the upcoming Millview Cicero. 9th place Carlos Carrero, NH5 Portos. And top 10 for Carlos Rodolfo Molina and Crunch, just adding the 1 time fault this time around. And that will put them top 10. But it is very well done to Denmark, so Ricky Belinda Barker. And adds now to her name not only European Championship team rider, but 5-star Grand Prix winner here in Mexico with Tabalu PS, and continues the legacy of Talu Bezet. That's lovely to see. Presentation is going to be on its way, and thank you for joining us here in Monterrey. Ricky Belinda Barker, it is hats off to you, and a big round of applause coming up for her in just a second as she sees success on week 2 of the 5 stars here in Monterrey. Super competition for them, and they're a super game of strategy to complete today's Grand Prix. It's been 2 weeks of brilliant beautiful grounds as ever. Wonderful to have the team on board here in Monterrey once again and to be a part of it. They do produce something special. It's a venue of legends, and now a new name will go on the trophy, and it is going to be Denmark, possibly for the first time here in Monterrey in La Silla, topping today's GNP 5-star Grand Prix. Let's see them for those in just a couple of minutes.
Un 10º lugar para Richard Vogel de Alemania y Stefano Valuver. ceremonia de premiación del Gran Premio GNP Seguros al metro 60. Nos honra con su participación en esta ceremonia el ingeniero Alfonso Romo Garza Lagüena.
Quinto lugar para México, Federico Fernández y Romero. Cuarto lugar, for Prix from Ireland, James Whitman with Acomeda. Tercer lugar para México, Nicolás Pizarro Suárez y Antonio. Segundo lugar, Prix for Italy, Emanuele Camille y Odense Odeberg. En estos momentos vamos a partir con una de las tradiciones más importantes del Club Hípico La Silla. La moña correspondiente al primer lugar del Gran Premio será entregada por un aguililla de Harris, que es parte del programa de conservación de naturaleza del Club Hípico La Silla. Su atención, por favor. Fuerte el aplauso para el día de Harris, que cumple una vez más con esta tradición de entregar la moña para el ganador del Gran Premio. En este caso, Rique Benita Barber de Dinamarca y Tabalú PS. Primer lugar, Dinamarca, Rique Benita Barber y Tabalú PS. Invitamos a desmontar a los que han ocupado los tres primeros lugares para continuar con la premiación en el podio. For continuing the prize ceremony in the podium. Entrega del trofeo correspondiente al tercer lugar en este Gran Premio al metro 60. Nicolás Pizarro Suárez y Atlántica Tico Leite. Trofeo del segundo lugar para el Camilli de Italia y Odeberg. Trofeo para el primer lugar, Rique Benita Barber de Dinamarca y Tabalú PS. Foto del recuerdo de este podio. Dinamarca, Italia y México. Invitamos a la seguida concurrencia a Prix, please stand up for the national anthem of Denmark. nacional de Dinamarca. A continuación, el tradicional brindis del podio con champán. La señorita Enrique Parker compartirá el champán con el señor Emanuel Camilli y el señor Nicolás Zarosa. Cheers, Mr. Parker. Saluti, Emanuel Camilli. Salud, Nicolás Zarosa. Invitamos a los integrantes del podio a volver a montar para la tradicional vuelta de la victoria. Please return to your horses for the round of victory. Please, Mr. Parker, with the lap of victory. Fuerte el aplauso para Enrique Parker de Dinamarca y Tabaluque ese primer lugar en el Gran Premio GNP al metro 60. Segundo lugar para Emanuel Camilli de Italia y Lorenzo Odeberg. Tercer lugar para Nicolás Pizarro Suárez de México y Atlanta Tizolenita. Cuarto lugar por James Arcantela from Ireland. Y quinto lugar para Federico Fernández de México y Romeo. Please, Mr. Parker, second lap of victory only for you, the winner of this Grand Prix. Segunda vuelta de la victoria, solo para la ganadora de este Gran Premio GNP al metro 60. Fuerte el aplauso para Belinda Parker.
We have a new leader right now.
Del concurso internacional organizado por el Club Químico La Silla. 5 estrellas, 2 estrellas, caballos jóvenes. Eso ha sido todo por hoy, por esta segunda semana. Les reiteramos el agradecimiento y será hasta una próxima oportunidad. Que tengan muy buenas tardes.